Guys, short here on the NQ. Was going to go long at 8.11s. I rarely ever do this, but I do think we get that pullback. So I'm actually going to take both the short and the long if we get down to 8.11s. And if we don't and we push up, then obviously I get stopped out. That is fine. The only reason I don't normally take these trades is because I don't know if we're going to come down. So therefore I won't get stopped because it's not a trade. I wouldn't take the short. But this to me looks good in terms of range and where we can come down to. And I have to remember, I had to remind myself, the BX is still red. So I believe the shorts will be actually easier than the longs, which sounds crazy because we're in an uptrend, but that is just what I believe. So I'm going to take the long and also, sorry, I'm going to take the short and I'm going to take the long when we get down to 8.10s, which obviously will these take profit. So if I get both trades, then that would be really cool. I'll get 60 to 70 points to the downside and then potentially 60 to 70 back up to the upside. Where you have to look at this is most of the range on the day has already been traded and we still have 5.5 hours left in the day. So you can continue up, but probability wise, it's less likely in my opinion. So it makes sense to trade some of this chop, which would mean rebalance and then back up. It would also be a same anchor new high from the session, and that 38 would be the 8.11s, which is what I'm going to target. So if you look out from the overnight session, the low to the high, 8.11s is the same anchor new high 38. So that I'm going to take both trades. Again, I wouldn't always short into a support, but this is a different type of trade based on the fact that this is ATR on the ET8 session. This is prior day high, and this is also red on the daily. So it makes sense. Can we get absolutely ripped on this? We can. So always risk of us. So just be aware of that. But I'm up slightly on the day anyway, so maybe I just lose a so. But I still think there'll be a trade in this, regardless of what happens. So yeah, hopefully we get both moves here, 8.10s for the short and also the long. I'm looking to add into this if I can. Just want to see that low get touched once more. If you can't take that low again, I won't take it. Come on, so close. Take it out by a couple points and I'll add. I can just put a limit there, can't I? Like 71s? Will a sell stop work? I think so. Let me know in the chat. I should know that. I think a sell stop would work. 71s. So basically adding to the short if we break 71s. Okay, so this is pretty much at where I think the decision will be made over the next 5 minutes whether we break the previous low or break a previous high. So I will base my trade on that. So if we either within the next once this candle closes in 5 minutes, if we are above or below the open, I will well, if we're above, I'll take the short off, and if we're below, I will keep it on. The reason being is on the 5 minute time frame, we traded at 10 past 11, we traded the ETH high of day, and then we traded down. So if we are going to be in a bearish trend, I would expect half an hour after that point for us to at least be in a downtrend. And we end up trading above that range, then I would end up thinking that's most likely going to just continue up. And obviously we are still in a high to high sequence from 9.35. And those completions are, which is within range of RTH session. RTH high of day is 9.56, or will be 9.56 if we get up there. If we come back down to 8.90s, I'm going to take this short. If not, I'll be flipping long. Happy to do both. About a minute left. Okay, looks like maybe flipping in a second. 40 seconds left, unless we trade 8.90s, which is 18 points away. 30 seconds, 9.07s, 10 seconds left. Okay, trend is up, flipping long. We'll count another half an hour from here, so call it 12 o'clock. If we're not trading above high A by 12 o'clock, then I'll probably just take off. So I'm just going to put this on till 12 and set an alert for 12 o'clock. 9.39s is the negative 23 completion. Green diamond on the smaller time frame as well, so this is locked in. I can move my stop up now. Beautiful. Even when you're wrong on a trade, you're still right. That's how we do. Easy trade. Did anyone catch that? High to high is too strong. Easy to be able to flip though on that. I'm gonna order a takeaway tonight. What do we reckon, guys? What do we reckon? Place your bets. What shall we get? Yes. Yeah, that's what we say in the UK, takeaway. It's like a takeout meal. Neutral, no trade. Quarter piece, yes, sir. I'm in. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Nice. Yeah, easy in terms of flipping short, that one. It's one of those ones where it's like you're right even if you're wrong, because you can just flip pretty quickly on it. Give it half an hour. If bias is still breaking up, then just flip long. No emotions. Should do. You've got targets now up to 944s and 940s, which is pretty much where my targets are. So I will probably take off at 44s for all of it, and I'm going to get done on the day. This will be a big 20 micros on this one. I think this should be about, was this a 40-point trade? Still quite a small trade, but really the high to high was at 880s. So really I should have been long from like down 880s. This was the high to high. So if any of you took the high to high, it was pretty much, the entry was here. So that's where I kind of should have been long. And obviously I was taking a short down there, just expecting it to potentially reverse back down to get a deeper pullback, because that deeper pullback would have been from the overnight lows, which I'm trying to get the right time on here, pretty much 630s. So 630s would have been like, how do I move this? 630, yeah. So I was expecting to see if we could get, and this is why I don't always short those type of trends. It was just because I'm not even going to try to do this on here. It's just such a crap platform. Anyway, it would have been the full coming to 810s, which would have been around here, would have been a full same anchor new high from the overnight session. That's why I took the short. Again, BX was red as well. And we were at ETH high of day on the ATRs. But we're in a high to high. So the high to high will be until it breaks. And so far, that 62 hasn't broken. So you take the long, and it is that simple. Should get that push now. Nice. Beautiful day. I mean, you just need 1 or 2 days like this a month, and your month is made. It really is. Like if I had went long at my entry earlier on with in a normal environment, in a normal day, like that was a 200-point trade. I'm just adding into this one. It's only a small point on there, but this is probably going to pop within the next minute or two. 940s. It's only going to be like a 2-point trade, but we'll get that push for that completion there. Got to start adding more to my winners. So see if I can expect it to complete quicker than that, so I'm just going to take some off here. I was expecting it to complete much quicker than that on that 1 minute candle, so I've got 15 left. See if I can get a push. What is that? 36s? Try and get 36s. It's just from a risk to reward point of view, it doesn't make sense to hold it much more. Up here, I'm up 625. Ah, there we go. There we go, guys. 1,000 on the day. Nice. So I was up like 4, and then I managed to get that second trade to get 1,000 on the day.